Thanks for joining us today. Women, Wealth, and Well-Being. This presentation is for information. Information contained herein is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as an offer, solicitation, or recommendation to buy or sell securities or personalized investment, tax, or legal advice. The information has been obtained from sources believed to be reliable. However, no guarantee is made or implied with respect to its accuracy, timeliness, or completeness. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Our purpose is to help more and more people experience well-being through wealth. Today's objective: empower you with knowledge and actionable steps to build your foundation for wealth. My personal purpose being here today is to help empower you financially. Money continues to be the number one source of stress worldwide for men and women, and in particular in today's environment of rapid change. For today's agenda, we'll have a conversation about what investing means to you. We'll look at some data about women, where we are today, and investing habits unique to women. I'll provide a brief update on the markets today and discuss a few behavioral aspects of investing. Then we'll dive into the actionable items you can take away, which we hope also leads you towards a greater sense of well-being. Women's assets and financial independence is growing. Women are wielding more power today and even more so in the future. As women gain more financial responsibility, more knowledge is needed to make educated choices. Women have generally been underserved by the financial service industry. The focus needs to be around making women more confident with their financial decisions. The power of women in the world today. Let's take a look at the rise of women's power. We've hit incredible milestones in the US, from high power government positions to business growth. Women are starting businesses at 2 times the rate of men. More women graduate from college and graduate schools than men, accounting for about 57% of recent degree earners. In 1924, Winter Games had 13 women, all figure skaters. In 2018, there were 1,242 female athletes competing across all 7 sports. Women in leadership roles is increasing 22% of the Fortune 500 boards in 2019. And the numbers continue to increase. With women's rise in power, there is a rise in wealth. As of 2020, women already own 32% of the world's wealth and are adding $5 trillion to the wealth pool globally every year. Women are going to inherit the majority of 30 trillion in intergenerational wealth transfers over the next 2 decades. Women are breadwinners or co-breadwinners in the majority of homes. By 2023, women are expected to hold 93 trillion. Between 80 and 90% of the women will, at some point in their lives, be solely responsible for all household financial decisions. But there are still a number of challenges. Women are still paid less. They earn 82% of what men earn. This accumulates over the course of a woman's life. 41% of women have started saving for retirement. 2/3 of women are concerned about outliving retirement savings. 69% of women do not consider themselves investors. Some reasons include not knowing enough or not having enough money, even though there are more and more of the breadwinners and most manage household finances. Men have almost 2 times more investable assets than women. Women have career breaks, which are more likely to make trade-offs for family than men, results in 3 times impact versus non-mothers due to lost income and missed promotions. Yet, women tend to see money as a way to pay for things they love, whether it's their family or personal goals they want to achieve sometime in the future. Women want to be secure financially. Women tend to feel less secure in their financial future compared to men. Only 2 in 5 women rate their financial health positively. To be debt free, women appear to be more concerned about short term debt, and 57% of the women say they need to have little or no debt in order to feel financially secure and confident. 51% of the women say that money is the number one stressor in their life compared to work, health, and family and social. Women want to invest to fulfill personal goals. Among those that invest, millennial women are 9% more likely than men to have fulfilling their personal goals as an overall expectation of investing and less likely to want to meet or beat the market. Women tend to learn more about investing, exhibit lower engagement and comfort with investing topics than men, but they want to learn. There is a challenge to face, but as seen from prior slides, we know that women have come a long way. Barriers are being broken down and wealth is rising. Women want to learn, and that's great news. We believe knowledge is power, which creates financial empowerment. What does wealth mean to you? Wealth means a lot of different things to different people. For some, it means being in a state to have choices. For others, wealth brings to mind images of travel, security, independence, or health. What does it mean to you? Our mission is to help you think about a few considerations when putting a plan in place, while honoring the fact that each one of us has a unique life journey, unique relationship with money and investing. We're going to cover a lot today in order to put yourself in a better situation as you plan for your future goals. What are your goals? Now let's talk about your goals and how they relate to your money. Let's consider something to get started. What's your why for being here today? Was it a recent life event? Do you have certain concerns about how finances affect your life? What are your priorities? And importantly, what are your responsibilities? When it comes to goal setting, it's most important to visualize what your goals look and feel like. This is the first important step to define and marry your wealth with your goals and value system. Goal setting is first step needed to take towards setting a financial strategy. Every goal needs to be specific. Every goal needs to have a dollar amount and date, because if we don't set a date, it's not a goal, it's just a wish. You also need to think about priorities. In other words, what's a need versus a want. Setting SMART goals is a popular approach. SMART standing for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Investing beyond the headlines. The next two sections are meant to help get you started on this exciting journey, where we'll aim to empower you with knowledge and with action. Don't let noise distract you from sticking to your goals. Worst enemy often turns out to be the noise around you. Planning, action is power. Get organized, get invested, don't wait. Especially, don't wait. I've heard it hundreds of times from people. I'm going to wait for the market to get better. The market is too high. Oh, the market's too low. Let's go through some investing terms. What is risk? It usually is referred to by many as the unforeseen with a potential loss. In the investing realm, it means the chance that you, the investor, will lose invested capital or money you invested. But there are a few more ways to think about risk, such as your risk tolerance, potential risk of different types of investments, required risks to meet goals. These are hypothetical risk tolerance portfolios. Typically, you want to match up against the portfolio according to your risk tolerance. Risk tolerance will vary with time frame, age, and different types of investments. Ideally, you want to find what you're comfortable with. because in times of market volatility, as now, it won't bother you much because everything is pre planned according to your goals and risk tolerance. The jelly bean chart of returns right here. This visual is showing you the return or the money a person invested in a certain investment would make of a given asset in a given year. The point is to show you the randomness of returns in any given single year. And every asset here, year in and year out, they're up or down. But you'll notice the purple, which is diversified portfolio. This is the jelly bean chart of volatility. Now, this slide might look similar as the previous, but look closer at the colors. The slide is showing you those same asset classes over the same time, but instead of measuring the return of the asset class in a given year, it's showing you the volatility or fluctuation of value. The point is, risk is more predictable to predict than returns. You can see some of these boxes and asset class colors being more in alignment. See the small caps in green up on top. See bonds on the bottom. And then you got the portfolio with the purple diversified portfolio. Don't sit on the sidelines. Risk is required to meet goals. If you sit on the sidelines or try to time the market by getting in or out at the right time, you risk not meeting your goals. If you're saving for the long term, particularly for retirement, don't wait for the right time. Inflation alone can significantly impact your money. $100,000 in 2001 would be worth about $68,000 today. If you are not invested, you are at least losing due to inflation. We usually call it the silent killer of money. Waiting for the right time to invest. When should you start? A rule of thumb, the longer your money is invested, the better. Compound interest makes time your friend. The more time you invest for, the more your investment can build on itself. 10% each year, the difference between investing for 10 years versus 5 years isn't just 100% more. It would be 261% more, almost 3 times as much. If you're investing for the long term, don't wait to invest at the right moment. You lose two ways when you wait: the erosion of your purchasing power from inflation, as we all see right now in this environment, and missing out on compounding interest. Time in the market versus timing the market. This is a hypothetical portfolio of $100,000 for the past 20 years. Fully invested, the portfolio is $424,000. Missing 10 of the best days in the market, that same portfolio will only be $194,000. Don't let worry drive your investment decisions. Oftentimes, staying invested is the best strategy. The costs are high. Unfortunately, many clients behave in ways that create unpredictability. Some common behavioral pitfalls include chasing returns, creates opportunity costs of spending too much time picking stocks or mutual funds, or not being properly diversified. Another well known behavioral challenge many clients have is getting in and out of their investments at the wrong time. We see a lot of regret in today's markets. 10 years in bull market with investors when they look at their portfolios versus US stocks. We call this S&P MB. This chart shows it. In a bear market, a diversified portfolio still loses money. That never feels good. Then in the bull market, markets rebound, you trail the index. For example, in 2008, you lost more than 20%, one of the worst years ever for a diversified portfolio. And then from 2009 to 2019, the diversified portfolio trailed US stocks by more than 150%. Then came first quarter 2020, and the market suffered greatly from the start of the pandemic. The diversified portfolio was down 20%. Luckily, it rebounded throughout the rest of 2020 with a return of 42.6%, but not as much as US stocks, which gained over 70% in the second quarter and also through the fourth quarter. You can see where this S&P envy comes from. The diversified portfolio never feels like it's winning. Lose money, trail the market, lose money, trail the market. A diversified portfolio is difficult to own. It never feels like you are winning, often leading to a feeling of regret. We start to wonder to ourselves, why am I losing money? I thought my portfolio was diversified. Or why does my portfolio always underperform? I'm leaving too much money on the table. But the punchline is, if you add up all these periods, the diversified portfolio actually wins. It wins even though it never feels like you are winning. This type of regret, not understanding why we built portfolios the way we do, can lead to bad investment decisions. Build your financial foundation. Each of you has a different story. Your wants and needs are all different. There's a few distinct commonalities women share that are unique from those of men. While everyone's path is unique, there are some fundamental topics to consider when it comes to building your foundation for wealth. Women who prioritize growing wealth understand that investing helps them reach their goals, big or small. It's important to make your financial strategy your priority. So when you need it, it's there for you. Step one, get organized. Collect investment statements, tax returns, insurance policies, all financial accounts, estate, and trust documents. Make it your business to understand your personal and family finances. It's what you don't know that can hurt you. Who handles the finances at your home? Get involved if it's not you. Ask questions. Talk to your partner about finances and how they manage their money. Talk to your parents about their financial situation and long-term care plans, like retirement or final death expenses. We went through this already, so remember, setting SMART goals is a popular approach. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Think about the last time you went to the grocery store, managed a product at work, or decided a new neighborhood to move to. Just thinking about it can be stressful, but the second you write down the list of what or the steps of how to get there or things to consider to make a decision, it becomes less scary and more planned. Investing is the same. Step three, know your numbers. This exercise will help you understand your baseline. In other words, what's the starting point and where are the gaps? By detailing your net worth and cash flows, you can identify possible areas where you can either spend less, save more, or even reduce debt. Hope is not a strategy. Know what you have and review it manually. Now create and stick to the budget. Maybe use an app. There's many popular apps out there. Step four, get invested. The first and most important thing you can do is to be invested. Only 44% of women have investments, so this is still a huge gap. Depending on your goals, consider also, are you paying down expensive debt? Are you maximizing savings? Are you optimizing benefits from your employer and insurance? Stay engaged, stay invested, create a financial strategy and stick with it. No matter what's going on in the markets, think to yourself, I can make time. It's my money. Living the way I want to live is a priority. Everyone has a unique life journey. However, there are some commonalities women share that we've already discussed. How we view money, challenges, and choices we make. Another important consideration is the fact that women are living longer. Living longer has become a women's issue. Women live 5 years longer than men. Living longer than ever means funding that longevity is a women's issue, meaning that women need to seriously consider how to fund expenses during their post retirement 100-year lives. This means even greater attention and planning should be applied when considering how to maximize benefits, such as Social Security and managing costs. Step 5, plan your unique life path, caregiving, parents, children, others close to you. Healthcare costs will likely be one of the most significant expenses in retirement. Social Security. It's important to know how to optimize income for yourself. Plan Social Security many years ahead of time. Don't wait to the last minute. Life after divorce or loss. With divorce quoted at 50%, and the fact that women are 4 times more likely than men to be widowed, outliving husbands by 14 years, it's likely you may need to manage all your finances alone at some point. Estate planning. Make sure to plan your legacy as you choose fit, or the state will do it for you. Caregiving and healthcare necessitates planning for long term peace of mind. Parenting or caring for a family member is taxing emotionally and financially, but fulfilling and emotionally rewarding in so many other ways. Opportunity to help preserve dignity and quality of life of loved one is important. The more challenging impact on things like career trajectory and finances is felt more by women. 12 years is the average for women out of the workforce to care. Less time in the workforce means less pay. 2/3 of the care provided to older adults is done by women. Time away from jobs and personal priorities like planning for your financial future are impacted. Need to consider investing to cover anticipated costs and consider what trade offs you want to take. Family discussions are important on these long term care costs. Healthcare costs. The average American spends 11,582 on healthcare in 2019. Projected healthcare premium and other out of pocket costs for a 65-year-old couple retiring in 2017 is $404,000 in today's dollars. In the future, that's roughly $670,000. Namely, due to longer lifespans, women are projected to pay about 30% more than men. This should be considered in your financial strategy. Life after divorce or loss. For those here who have chosen to partner with someone, there is an unfortunate reality we need to talk about because it has an impact on how we manage our finances. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the realities of becoming suddenly single through divorce or widowhood. No one plans to die after their spouse or go into marriage planning on divorce. However, statistics tell us that the odds are high for women on both. So let's focus on how we can set ourselves up to navigate the situation as best we can if we divorce or lose a loved one. Divorce or a spouse's death will change your life, but it does not have to destroy your life. Don't rush or make big decisions soon after. Embrace your new life and opportunity to reinvent yourself. Let's move to what we can do to set ourselves up for success. Action steps if you divorce or lose a loved one. If you had a financial plan, review it with a professional. If not, get one when you have a clear head. Divorce. Act if you feel things getting bumpy in the marriage. Pre-plan. The moment you feel that your marriage is getting rocky, start putting together your own record of where you and your spouse stand financially. If divorce is inevitable, act as soon as possible to protect your credit by obtaining a credit report. Widowhood. After a loss, remember, don't make big decisions. Changes in the early stages of grief out of fear or confusion. Partner with a financial advisor that utilizes the discovery process to gather the information necessary to determine immediate needs and what needs can be prioritized until later. Realistically, there are only a few items that need to be handled right after a spouse's death, such as handling bills, organizing arrangements, and working with an estate attorney to ensure your estate plan is addressed appropriately. Take care of yourself, create a support network, and ask for help. Estate planning, why do it? If something were to happen to you tomorrow, are your assets structured to go where you want them to go? Would it be obvious? Research indicates that 2 out of 3 Americans die intestate. That means dying without having written a will or set up a living trust that explains how your assets should be distributed after your death. If you don't already have an estate plan, the best time to put a plan in place is now. Good estate planning can be the difference between taking care of family for years to come and losing control of everything you've worked so hard for. An estate includes real estate, bank accounts, investments, digital assets, and life insurance. Your personal property, jewelry, furniture, art, antiques, and other valuables. Protect your wealth. You should build an estate plan to position assets to go where intended according to your wishes and your goals, not the state's. Understand your values and what's important. Construct the right plan based on the size of your assets. Maximize gifts to heirs, stretch IRAs, etc. To ensure that assets are taxed efficiently, without appropriate estate planning, your estate tax liability may not be well managed. Consider income and estate tax ramifications for anything of ownership. Proper planning provides sufficient liquidity for beneficiaries. To protect and communicate with your loved ones, you want to ensure that beneficiaries have sufficient liquidity to pay your obligations. For example, federal estate taxes due in cash 9 months after your death. Get in the know and don't rely on other family members to handle the details. Make sure to review and understand your estate plan as well as your parents' estate. Ask your own personal financial advisor about details such as asset tallying and beneficiary designations. Find out about the things you may not be sure of. For example, are you already designated as a personal representative, executor, or a trustee? Encourage conversations with spouses and family members so there are no surprises down the road about end of life wishes, an advanced healthcare directive, power of attorney, write a farewell letter. Step 6, take action. You are the center of your life. There will be many different professionals that come into your life, so you need to be sure they are working with your best interests in mind. You are the captain of your team, and it's your responsibility to secure the best players. It's like a sports team. One of the most important is the financial advisor. Only one who helps you across your lifetime and coordinates with other specialists. Financial markets are complex. Many individuals simply do not have the time or interest to stay on top of the changing market conditions and how that affects their portfolio. He or she can help pull different parts of your financial life together in good times and in harder ones. Choosing a financial professional, do your homework, ask for references and their investment philosophy, services, and cost structure. This should be a personal process that is a two-way fit between you and the financial advisor. A recap of the list of action items to do for your journey to wealth and well-being. Get organized. Organize your financial resources and know your cash flow. Think about and establish your goals. Write them down. It sticks better. Get invested. In partnership with the financial professional, get invested. Remember, you want to set achievable goals and balance that with your risk tolerance. When setting your financial strategy, consider caregiving possibilities, your healthcare needs, costs, and Social Security income sources. Recognize that for Social Security, there are options and pros and cons to each you should be aware of. Meet with a financial professional. Many people think of financial advisors as money managers, people who can help make your money work as well as possible. That's true. But perhaps just as importantly, guiding you through the process, the financial advising side, and helping you avoid common emotional mistakes is a very important part of a financial professional's job. Talk to them about your goals and trust their knowledge in navigating markets. They can help you stick to the strategies that will give you the best chance to reach your ultimate goal. Thank you for reviewing this presentation. Please share it with your friends. Give us a like. Thank you very much for your time. Please contact us today.